Yes, it would be worth coming back and hearing me and getting some general feedback rather than just me leave your assignments. Hello, I've got your money.
Oh, good.
Okay. Last night. Oh, God, no. This is recording, isn't it? It's a real problem because it means that the very last time we see each other, I won't be able to swear, which is no fucking good, is it? Anyway. So I thought I'd put a few slides together. These are generic, okay, so they don't mention any individual and they don't mention any agency, and because that's for your feedback for later on, okay. So it's really this, I suppose. It's me and some of the clients you spent a lot more time, but me spending over 10 hours, and Jill spent at least 3 or 4 hours looking at and thinking about pitches for Wrigley's, okay. So it's kind of like the general reflections on. And it's more about lessons to learn rather than all the great things you did. So you might see this as, where's all the positive stuff? There is some, but in a way it's not about clapping and applauding you. That comes for when you get your stuff back, really. So it's the good, the bad, the ugly, the future, and the winners are going to be announced here today, okay? Which kind of means that the losers are also going to be announced here today, I suppose. And of course, just like in real pitch situations, there are always more losers than winners. And of course, in the context of a real campaign, you are a loser if you don't win it. But in the context of this learning experience, just even if you don't win does not mean your campaign was no good or your campaign was rubbish, okay? Not at all. And when I give back the stuff, the feedback, obviously you guys should spend time having a look at it, okay? So the first generic point, I guess, is, and a lot of these come from the client as much as from me, okay? But the idea of competition. Some of you brought it up, not many of you brought it up in any detail. And where you did, you talked about Trident, some of you. But in a way, this maybe doesn't get to the point clear enough, but in a way you decide what the competition is. Depending on how you're going to position Wrigley's in the future, determines what the new competitive set is. And only a few agencies kind of said, look, we know Trident's the competition, but because we're going to position you as sexy, let's just say, then the new competition are things that your target audience perceive as sexy and fulfill a sexy role in their life. So in one way, I guess one of the key lessons for the future is think about turning up on time to your pitch. Joke. But think about you influence who the competition are. You don't have to keep it as a static kind of, it was Trident. It says in the reports that it is this, okay? So that's the first point. Second point, that one group had this and decided to hide it in their pitch, and they know who they are, right? But most people didn't do this enough, and this is really what particularly the client wanted. The client wanted an understanding of you as a communications agency, understanding your universe of people, and eventually getting down to some rough, vague idea of, you want 7 million quid, how much am I likely to get back in the next 3 years? 6 million, 2 million, 1 million, no millions? Some groups had a go but kind of stopped halfway. Some groups had a go and started at the top and then just jumped from there to there. Most groups did this. One group did it really well in their report, but didn't do it in their pitch, which is a great shame. But there we go, never mind. Lessons to learn, isn't it? More than quite a few agencies had a contingency budget of £500,000 or more quid. Just think of, from the client's point of view, what that means. That's what that means. That is exactly how, and of course, the way that people are laughing in the audience maybe indicates who, but not one group, many groups. And in fact, I'm not sure you guys did, but anyway. If you're saying to a client, £500,000 contingency, that's what you're really saying. Can we keep loads of your money in the bank so that we can make interest on it? Unless you've got a really good reason for having it, i.e. it's high risk, and there are some very specific reasons for having a lot of contingency, then I think £500,000 is a bit too much, really, okay? I know you want to be static on this, but I'd just like you to film the real ladies, so that's it, so we can remember this for the future. Can you just turn around a minute and just wave to the camera? Anyway, because this will live forever now on YouTube in about half an hour, and on Media 2 forever and ever.